Bursting into tears, the high priestess said that this was all an order from the teachings of monotheism, and she simply carried it out. If she had not carried out the instructions, she would have been killed just like the others. But Zixuan already wanted to kill her anyway. But Liu Feng grabbed her hand, saying that he understands that she wants to kill her and why, but they must leave her alive now, in order to find out all the information and find their main headquarters, and then finish off all these eating people, creatures. After which he again invited her to join his shelter, saying that then the priestesses would be under her control. Zixuan agreed to join, but asked him to promise that they would destroy this sect, and that they will build a prison in the shelter for people like the high priestess. Thanks to Zixuan entering the hideout, Liu Feng received the blueprints to build a prison. Now he could take prisoners of war with the probability that 20% of them would become residents of the underground city. The system rated Zixuan as a very reliable jailer, with excellent interrogation skills and attracting opponents to his side. Before Liu Feng had time to study Zixuan's personal file, one of the shelter guards approached him with a proposal to create a security room, and best of all, build very strong doors. This way they could prevent the shelter from being invaded. Li Xin also proposed building a shooting range, thereby increasing the accuracy of shots. Liu Feng understood that before building the prison site and security room, it was necessary to upgrade all buildings to the second level. The system, having studied all the subtleties and nuances, replied that the required time to build a prison, a shooting range, and a security room is 4 days. The next day, Liu Feng returned to prison again, but with Kelly and Lun Xuan. He couldn't even think that Kelly would come to him in the evening. She came, saying that the base was now in perfect order, and she was not needed there yet, and she asked me to take her with me tomorrow. After all, she wanted to interrogate Zheng Tianxiong on her own. He understood that Kelly was very worried about her property. He also understood that Li Xin needed to rest and the underground cities needed control. Younger sister needs to sleep after taking the quintessence, and Zixuan needs to look after the priests. Therefore, he could only take Longshuan and Kelly with him to the northern camp. The high priestess said that her number 6 apostle was already on his way to the northern camp. This meant that the guys had a new task, to go to the northern camp to prevent infection. Liu Feng understood that even though his camp had not improved much, we had still risen to a higher level, and now had an excellent first-class sniper Longshuan in his hideout. He also received a combined blow and a firearm. They can go on missions with peace of mind. After which he went down to the prison garage and saw 3 luxurious post-apocalyptic cars there, protected on all sides from zombies. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, the military fought off a crowd of zombies. Chu Shanhe, the commander of the rescue squad of the refugee camp in the northern part of the city of SZ, ordered all his subordinates to protect the civilians, who at that moment were trying to climb into the truck in order to evacuate from the dangerous territory, at the cost of their own lives. But no matter how hard they try, protect themselves from zombies and save civilians, the zombies were still able to break through their blockade. Although the soldiers of the detachment laid them out in packs, there were a lot of them. The commander of the rescue squad was already ready to face the inevitable death of his squad and the failure of the mission, when suddenly a savior appeared out of nowhere. The soldiers, with horror in their eyes, told the commander that the front line had been broken. At that very moment, Liu Feng appeared with his team. Liu Feng was glad that there were a lot of zombies in the area, because last night he had transformed a new electromagnetic sword, and it was time to test it. Thanks to his new electric sword, Liu Feng easily defeated a crowd of zombies with almost one movement of his sword. The soldiers did not understand how he was able to kill a whole bunch of zombies with one blow of his sword. One of the soldiers suggested that he is a master of sword art, since he has a red robe. After Liu Feng and his team finished dealing with a bunch of zombies, the captain of the military squad immediately thanked him for his help, calling them heroes. Then he asked what their names were. In response, Liu Feng said that there was no need for gratitude because he simply did not want to watch zombies eat ordinary people. Li Xin told Liu Feng that he hated the government troops, but those who harmed his sister and Auntie Li were the Special Operations Squad. They had nothing to do with the real government troops. Although this was true, he still didn't like the government troops subconsciously, and at the moment there was nothing he could do about it. Meanwhile, panic occurred in the crowd of civilians because each of them wanted to quickly understand the truck. Seeing this, the military commander ordered him to immediately shut up and stand in line to be loaded into vehicles. Big breasts, the girl in the green dress saw Liu Feng, recognized him, and shouted his name. Meanwhile, sitting in another car, Kelly remembered last night spent with Liu Feng. Although he agreed to take her with him, Kelly began to suspect that he didn't seem to know how to say no to women. So I asked if he had a girlfriend before. Liu Feng replied that of course he had a girlfriend, but he never touched her. Although on the other hand, recently his business has gone uphill. The girl in the green dress with gorgeous breasts was Liu Feng's ex-girlfriend. When he saw her, he simply froze and was speechless. Seeing this situation, Kelly realized that she had to train Liu Feng because he shouldn't freeze like that every time he meets a woman. Seeing Liu Feng, his ex Shun Qing immediately began to insult him, saying that her ex was a weakling and a loser, and in general she doesn't understand how she could date him. After which he began to praise his new boyfriend, saying that he was strong and tough, and 100 times more handsome than Liu Feng. At this moment, Kelly approached Liu Feng and asked him what he was doing. All the men were immediately speechless when they saw such a gorgeous, busty, attractive Kelly. Shun Qing said that her former fat friend turned into a zombie and almost killed her, so she had to give herself to Wang Jian in order to survive. Seeing the girl near Liu Feng, she asked who it was, to which Kelly replied that it doesn't matter because she should thank Shun Qing. Looking into Liu Feng's eyes, she said that he torments her every day until dawn, because he is so indomitable. She thanked her for leaving such a wonderful and strong man for her. Liu Feng was embarrassed and wanted to say that this was all not true, when suddenly Kelly pinched him on the back and told him to shut up because she was creating authority for him. Having said that, sooner or later, he will know her power. Seeing this, the sniper realized that Kelly had leadership talent. She would be able to unite even the most arrogant people into one team. Tired of being ridiculed, his ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend grabbed his chest and wanted to hit Liu Feng, saying that he didn't dare to mock them. But Liu Feng was no longer that weak boy, so he grabbed that bull by the face and told him to watch his tongue. Seeing the strength and ferocity in Liu Feng's eyes, Shun Qing immediately apologized for her boyfriend. At that moment, she couldn't believe it was the one she knew. It was outrageous. She wanted to be close to him. Seeing Liu Feng's gaze, the sniper realized that he had experienced something interesting. At this moment of dialogue, the commander of the military unit interrupted, saying that they should stop their internecine strife because a wave of zombies was approaching the front line and they had to hurry. Everyone understood perfectly well that meeting a wave of zombies was the worst thing at the end of the world. After all, a wave of zombies in the city can destroy even the defense of an army. For an ordinary person, this is 100% death, because it's almost impossible to fight off a wave of zombies, let alone escape. The military unit commander thanked Liu Feng for saving them, but now, since a wave of zombies was coming, he decided to postpone their conversation until next time. I asked him and his team to follow into the car behind, and he and the military would clear the way for them. After this, the commander ordered his military and civilians to quickly get into the car if they did not want to die here. Hearing this, civilians began to pile onto the bus in panic. Everyone was crowding and jostling, trying to get on the bus, but unfortunately, there were a lot of people, and everyone simply physically could not fit on the bus. In the end, 3 civilians were simply thrown out of the bus because there was no more room. Seeing this sad picture, Liu Feng could not leave these people to be eaten by zombies, so he said he quickly climbed into his car, after which Li Xin told her to keep up with the military. The column moved, and the military commander radioed for the vehicles behind to stay closer to them. They will use 3 machine guns to open the road. He also warned everyone to be careful as some zombies will try to jump in. To prevent this, they must watch the windows and doors and keep up with the convoy. After which he said that the government would not abandon a single civilian. Their destination is a refugee camp north of the city. After he voiced important information, he ordered his subordinates to open full fire on the zombies and begin moving the column. Thanks to 2 military vehicles at the beginning of the column, and a machine gunner who were on the roof and mercilessly destroyed packs of zombies, they were able to slowly move through this wave of zombies. Although the car in which Liu Feng and his team were was very strong, he understood that if this continued, sooner or later, this crowd of zombies would overturn the car. Looking into Liu Feng's eyes, Kelly said that judging by his face, he wanted to use his transformation abilities again. He asked her how she understood this, to which she replied that she was not stupid like his ex. Liu Feng put his hand on the fender of the car and said that he had almost forgotten about this ability of his, but now is the time to remember her. Thanks to his power during formation, Liu Feng created cars, a blade that protruded from the car 2 meters long, which prevented zombies from getting very close to the car. Seeing him use the transformation ability, the sniper thought that he was a legendary mutant, since only they had such abilities. Although Liu Feng secured the car from all sides thanks to the blades, he still did not take care of the roof, which the zombies were able to climb onto. So he decided to go out onto the roof himself to destroy them. Seeing a man on the roof of a car, people started saying that he is an idiot because he is trying to show off, because he will definitely die. Meanwhile, while on the roof, he remembered what Kelly told him. In order to earn a reputation, simply put, he just needs to show off. So he decided to do it right now and launch the Kung Fu Master skill. Standing on the roof of the car as if on a surfboard, he destroyed one zombie after another, doing it with such ease and precision, as if he was born for this. Everyone who watched him was shocked, because he alone, being on the roof of a car, was able to defeat a whole crowd of zombies. When suddenly, they heard someone walking on the roof of the bus. Realizing that they could not capture Liu Feng's car, the zombies transferred all their forces to the bus with civilians. A real meat grinder began on the bus. Zombies were not only on the roof but also penetrated through the windows. The military tried to fire back while protecting civilians, but they failed. They ended up being eaten by zombies. Liu Feng understood that he could not leave ordinary people in trouble, so he activated his claw mode. The robotic arm transformed into a claw. He fired his claw at the bus in order to latch onto it and penetrate it in this way. He flew into the bus through the window, immediately destroying one of the zombies that stood in his way with his sword. The civilian girls and boys were very happy to see Liu Feng, because they considered him their savior, and the female half was also a handsome man. And only the guy Shen Qing was not happy about Liu Feng's appearance. Meanwhile, while Beak En was dealing with the zombies at the other end of the bus, Shen Qing and her boyfriend were surrounded by zombies. In order to escape and survive, her boyfriend pushed her towards the zombies. Finding herself on the edge of life, Shen Qing could not understand why everyone was giving it to her. After all, she just wanted a better life. She just wanted to live. She couldn't understand why she got such a bad man, and why was she so wrong with her choice of men in her life. It would seem that that's all. Her life has come to an end. But it is at the very last second that Liu Feng appears, and with his sword cuts the heads of the zombies attacking her. Climbing onto the roof of the car, the sniper decided to help defeat all these zombies who were on the bus. Liu Feng was destroying zombies one after another, when suddenly the commander radioed that the third car had been attacked and was out of order, and ordered the entire convoy to leave the cars as quickly as possible. Behind the guy Shen Qing, at that moment some strange zombie with unusual eyes appeared. The column stopped abruptly, and the commander of the military group ordered everyone to leave their vehicles immediately. Liu Feng completed the task of protecting the civilians on the bus by killing all the zombies, and I received 1,100 points from the system for this. Due to the sudden braking of the bus, Liu Feng fell to the floor. He was immediately surrounded by girls and let them say that if it weren't for him, they would have died, and they asked me to gladly accept their gratitude. At this time, he was thinking about the mysterious zombie he had seen on the bus, because he had completely unusual eyes, not like those of all the other infected. They still managed to break through this wave of zombies, and by nightfall, they were in the forest and celebrating their victory. The commander of the military unit said that tomorrow they would reach the refugee camp, and if it weren't for Liu Feng's help, this time the consequences could have been unpredictable. He introduced himself saying that his name was Chu Shanhei, and it was heroes like Liu Feng that he admired most. Chu Shanhei told Liu Feng that, unfortunately, they did not have enough food, So tonight they could only survive on the leftovers. It's good that tomorrow they will be able to return to base. Hearing this, Kelly said that if possible, they could sell the army canned goods made in their shelters. After which, Liu Feng gave a dozen of his canned goods and asked him to heat up food for everyone.